Welcome back, everybody. We are in the kitchen today for another Instant Pot meal. This is my all-time favorite, meatloaf and mashed potatoes. Before I walk you through the steps of getting everything into the Instant Pot, I want to go through what we have in front of us. Now, I've already mixed together my meatloaf. Use your own recipe. I'm only making 1 pound worth because there's only the 3 of us. And I cut up in large chunks 3 russet potatoes. I also have 1 cup of chicken broth, some ghee. The ghee is a type of butter, so if you don't have ghee, you can just use regular stick butter. Some spray oil, salt, and pepper. The first thing we're gonna do is add in our chunks of potatoes. They will go right into the bottom of the Instant Pot. After the potatoes are in, we're going to add salt and pepper. Amounts vary from person to person. I sprinkle on a little. If we need more later on, we can add it. I don't like my food real peppery, and I try not to use too much salt. I put just a little in, and we can always add to it later. We have potatoes, salt, pepper. The next thing we're gonna add is 1 cup of chicken broth. You can use water, but take my word for it, and if you're making this recipe, try the 1 cup of chicken broth. It makes the potatoes and the meal taste so much better, in my opinion. If you're a little hesitant, you can always just use water, and then the next time use chicken broth and just see if you can tell the flavor difference. I almost guarantee you will. The next thing we're going to add is the butter. In this case, I'm using ghee. You'll need about a tablespoon of butter down in with the potatoes. Now we're going to move on to the meatloaf. I have already assembled a little boat, and I will give you a hint. If you are making a 2-pound batch or larger of meatloaf, get a small cheesecake springform pan, put it together, spray it down, and put your meatloaf inside. I tried that once and it was perfect. It fit down in here. When the meatloaf was done, I popped the sides off and there was a nice formed meatloaf. But for this recipe, since I'm only doing 1 pound, I made a small little boat to put the meatloaf in. So I'm going to spray the boat, as I'm going to call it. Take your trivet, we're gonna put it right in over the potatoes. Now we're gonna take the meat and put it into the boat. I'm just going to scoop this in here and we will form it once it is in my little pan. I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick and we'll move on to the next step. This is what it looks like inside of the pan. We have our potatoes, we have the trivet that we're going to put the meatloaf on. We'll take our boat of meatloaf, place it inside there, and that is it. We have the potatoes and the meat inside. It's time to get this lid on so it can start cooking. We'll take our lid, put it on top, turn it, lock it, make sure the valve is pointed to ceiling, and we're going to cook the meatloaf for 20 minutes. It's gonna take about 10-15 minutes for the Instant Pot to come up to pressure, 20 minutes cook time, followed by 10 minutes of natural pressure release. So you're looking at least 40 minutes for this to cook, total. We're going to pressure cook for 20 minutes. Mine's already set at 20, so I am good to go. If yours is not, you will just subtract or add time until you get to 20. So we're gonna let this cook for the 20 minutes. The Instant Pot just beeped telling me that it has come up to pressure, and it is now going to count down the 20 minutes. So as you can hear, the Instant Pot has cooked for the 20 minutes at high pressure. It's gonna start counting up the 10 minutes of natural pressure release. What that means is there is no more high pressure cooking the food. It is now going to very slowly come back down to a regular pressure amount. It's gonna count up when it gets to the 10 minutes. We will release the rest. I'll show you what's inside. Okay, so we have naturally pressure release for 10 minutes. It is time to turn our valve to venting. Be very, very careful. As you can see, there will be hot steam that comes up. This is the rest of the pressure that is still in the pot that needs to be released. The valve has went down. We're gonna turn this to cancel, which means off. Let's open up this lid and look and see what's inside. Okay, I'm gonna take some pot holders, lift out the meatloaf, and I'm gonna set it here for right now. We're going to transfer the meatloaf, and I've got another pan here sprayed down. I'm just going to broil the top of the meatloaf so it gets a little bit crispy. In the Instant Pot, it will be kind of soft on the outside, so if you like a nice crispy outside, you'll want to broil it. This is also the time, if you like sauce on the top of your meatloaf, you would add your sauce, put it in the oven for about 10-15 minutes, and then your meatloaf will be ready to go. I'm gonna put this meatloaf in the oven, let it start broiling while we work on the potatoes. We have our cooked potatoes in here with the salt, the pepper, and the chicken broth. To this, I'm just going to add a little bit of milk. You can add sour cream, more butter, more seasoning, whatever you prefer for your mashed potatoes. I'm gonna keep these pretty simple. Take a hand mixer, and we're just going to mix this up to a mashed potato consistency. Now they still look kind of thick. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more milk to this, give it another mix, and we'll see what they look like from there. Those potatoes look pretty good. You'll want to go ahead, taste your potatoes, see if you want to add any more seasoning. If not, your potatoes are good to go. And here you have it. Instant Pot mashed potatoes, meatloaf with a side of corn from the garden this year. My favorite comfort meal. I hope you enjoy another Instant Pot recipe, one of my favorites. If you do, make sure to give this video a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you stick around. I plan to have more Instant Pot recipes and quick meals in the future. Until next time, happy cooking, and even better, happy eating. And we will see you later. Bye.